Hey everyone, Mike McKay here, and you caught me out here pulling some weeds in my garden. You know, if there's one thing I really don't like about gardening, it's pulling weeds. I mean, these things grow up in here, and you got to pull them out by the root, and it's just a pain. Um, I've been doing gardening for quite a while. Actually, when I was in high school, I had a little bit of a job where I went to people's houses and say, "Hey, I'll help you with your yard work," and a lot of times they ask me to pull weeds. It's got to be the awfulest job ever. And I remember one time I went to this guy's house. He said, "Hey, I have a little bit of weeding to do." He walked me out to the backyard, and there was a bank, you know, one of those big banks you see on the freeway, full of weeds. And he goes, "I don't want you to use a weed whip. I want you to pull them out by the roots." Oh, what a pain. As I was doing that, I started thinking, why in the world do we have so many weeds? And I thought, well, it's probably because of sin, because everything bad comes from sin. And it's just a reality of life that when you have a garden, you have weeds, and you got to pull those weeds, and you got to be diligent about it, because if you don't pull them and take care of them, they'll overtake the good plants, and then you're going to have trouble with the good plants surviving. But not only that, they just seem to breed. And more of these weeds just keep growing up and take care of things. And it takes some persistence to get them out of our life. You know, it's a lot like bad habits in our life. We all have bad habits, things we shouldn't do. And the more we just let it go, the more it becomes a real habit and a real thing in our lives. And so what we need to do is we need to kind of pull it out, to take a little diligence and get rid of that bad habit and plant some new good plants in the place of that, so that they grow and they flourish and they move forward there. The reality is there's going to be a lot of things in life that happen that where weeds pull in. Bad habits, things we do, things we shouldn't do, things that God doesn't want us to do. The Bible calls that sin. And unless we deal with it, pull it out by its roots, it's still going to flourish. And so, you know, God's really good at that. He says, hey, if you come to me and confess your sin, and he's faithful and just to forgive us of our sin and cleanse us from all unrighteousness, that's a great truth of God, and one that we should claim all the time. But also we need to be persistent in seeking to rid our lives of some of those bad habits in our lives. And that takes a little bit of persistence, a little bit of pressing on. So I encourage you with that today. What are some habits you have in your life that are more weedy that probably you need to get rid of? Hey, get help. There's always good to use a mentor or someone that you know that can walk you through that, or if you need a counselor or someone who can help you some of those deeper habits that are in life. But boy, don't let the weeds grow, because you know what? They really don't look that great. And there's a lot of things that God wants to flourish in our life that some of the bad habits just need to be rooted out. Anyways, hope that helps and encourage you today. God bless you. I got to get back to this weeding. Gosh, they're just all over the place. You know, when you pull one out, another one just stops in. Anyways, have fun. God bless.